Hello, everybody. Welcome to Saairah Entertainment News. It's your girl Sonia. Here we have Kenny Sikes. He's Kenneth Sikes. Kenny Sikes. He's an awesome, wonderful, wonderful musician.
Oh, thank you, Sophie. Thank you.
Extremely talented person. And we're going to get to know him.
All right.
So hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Carl. Tell us about yourself. Tell us about who Kenny Sikes
Well,
is.
I am a musician of maybe 51 years, I think.
Okay.
I started off playing the flute at the age of 6 or 7, and I started playing the saxophone a year after that.
Okay.
And I started playing in a band a few years after that when I was 8 years old.
Oh my God.
Yeah, eight.
Eight.
This is eight, right? 8 years old.
Oh,
And I did my
wow.
first gig in a bar. This was in the 70s when you take your kids to the bar.
Yes, in the 70s for those who do not understand.
Not today.
You can't do that shit now, but you could do it back in the day.
And we did our first gig. It was my cousins and their friends. It's
Okay.
called the Supernatural Band.
Okay.
Well, our first name was the Rhinestone Band. And
Okay.
then we changed it to the Supernatural Band. It was a wonderful experience.
Okay.
I grew up in West Philadelphia. I
Okay.
attended the public school system. Cassidy Elementary School, Louis C. Cassidy, up in 66 and Lansdowne Avenue is where I first started playing.
Okay.
Yes. I went in. We all went in for a music test, the ear test that day, and I passed, and one other person passed. Out of all those kids, it was unbelievable, really.
Wow.
Yeah. And
What will cause that?
I don't know. Good hearing.
Some of the kids in there good hearing back in the day.
I don't know. Because one of the things about hearing is that a person can be tone deaf.
Yeah. That's true.
And not be able to differentiate the sounds and the vibrations.
That's true.
And that could be for a number of reasons. But anyway, that's where it all started. And I went to Beaver Junior High, continued to play, and I went to Overbrook High School.
Overbrook.
Yeah, and I wasn't in the music program, but they allowed me to participate in some of the groups still because I was a music student since elementary school.
Right.
And I continued to play. I went to the community college and I studied music there for just a little bit, and I became much more interested in mental health and social services in the psychiatry program.
Okay.
And so that's the career that I've actually had since the mid-'80s, since about 1985. I've worked in mental health and social services.
Okay.
But I continue to play music
Okay.
my whole life, and I continue to play out regularly. So hire me.
We're getting to that. So let's break down the music part. So when you started playing the flute, you were young.
Yes.
You were very young.
Yes.
I learned the flute too, but I learned it in high school.
Okay.
And you really do need to be able to hear good.
Oh,
See,
yeah, absolutely.
when I was going to school, I went to West Catholic.
Wow.
They just wanted you to know an instrument, so
Mhm.
they just would sit there and say, "Oh, you get this, you get this, you get that." They didn't sit there and say, "Hey, do these people have rhythm? Do these people?" So
Right.
it's different. I think back in the day, what they did was a good idea
Oh,
because
yeah.
a lot of people were not meant to play instruments.
This is true.
Oh my God, especially like saxophones and stuff like that. Anything with a reed inside of it.
It's not as easy as it seems.
It's not easy. I heard it. I know. Let me tell you.
You said you heard
I
it.
heard it. Oh my God, the squeaking, all the
Yeah,
squeaking and
yeah.
it's just horrible. It's just like, and you hear that constantly during practice, and it's a lot. Tell me about the experience when you were 8 years old and you were in the bar playing. What was that like?
It was amazing. I started with a group at 8 and played my first gig at 9. It was really amazing. It was really overwhelming. But I'll tell you this, Sophie. I felt like I fit. That
Okay.
is in terms of the entertainment piece.
Okay.
The stage was comfortable for me.
Okay. So you was in your element.
I was. I didn't know it. I was a child, but
Yeah.
but I enjoyed playing for people. That much
Okay.
I did know, and I enjoyed being there. And I liked the attention, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
Most people would, right?
Oh yeah.
And but it was actually an exhilarating experience,
Okay.
and that particular memory, that first time that I went out, that sticks. I remember that very clearly.
Yeah, that was it was an impactful moment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what
Oh
they would
yeah.
call an impactful moment, and that was your guiding light. That was your first taste
It was.
of
It was.
of that type of informed.
It was. It was.
Wow, that's
and
amazing.
I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
So what happened as you grew older and got to like high school?
Well, the band disbanded probably right before right before I went into high school.
Okay.
And so when I went into high school, there were two branches of student government. One was the executive branch, if I could, and then the other was the more social branch. And the social branch is what I joined, and that was the branch that was responsible for performances, the shows, Miss Overbrook pageant, Black Arts Festival, and things like that.
Okay.
And so I was the band director. I was chosen to be the band director for that.
In high school.
In high school.
Wow, that's amazing.
In my 11th grade year, because
Okay.
when I went in 1979, 78, 79, 79, 80, there was already a group together. But I played with the senior band.
That's an amazing opportunity to be so young. You don't get to be a band director. You know what I mean? That's like going up to like Hampton or actually one of those UNC, North Carolina.
That's right.
Yo, can I be a band director? Be like, really? What's your experience?
That's
like,
true. That's true.
That's amazing. Like, and that's a very difficult job.
It was.
Because you gotta, what's the word I'm looking for? You gotta gather everybody up.
That's right.
You know,
the directing part and the and structuring everything out and coordinating.
Yes.
Is probably the best word. It was a lot. But the interesting part about it, I was well beyond my peers in that, in coordinating and performing and whatnot, because I had been performing out on stage in public before people since I was 9 years old, and we played regularly, meaning that we played every weekend at least Friday and Saturday, but sometimes we actually played Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Wow.
So I was out in the public playing and performing a lot. So by the time I got to high school, I was pretty well versed in what it took to produce a good product.
Okay.
And so in 1979-80, school year, I was actually the director of the social part of student government, and it was amazing. For all of you that might see this and remember those years between 1979, 80, and 1983, it was really amazing, exhilarating.
I have to say, I mean, even though I was young, but the music scene back in those days was jumping. Like, it was so, like, it was all in all the schools. Like, it was marching bands. It was everything. Like,
which I loved.
Marching bands.
Great.
Oh, God. It's such a hard thing to do. It takes a lot of paying attention, and you have to really... you have to be coordinated. You have to really be coordinated. I'm saying you got to not think about your feet.
That's
so
right,
much
exactly.
as you got.
And you're reading music.
And
you're looking at the director.
Yes.
And the leader. It's a lot. People, these students, they make marching band look easy, but it takes a lot.
Yeah.
And a lot of practice.
And
so kudos to HBCUs.
Absolutely, because they get it down.
They get down.
They do, and they're so entertaining.
Yes.
And you know what's so funny about that? Even if they did make a mistake, there is no way you would know.
No, you would not.
Unless somebody just literally fell on their behind.
Right.
Which I don't think ever happened. But
the great part about it is it's not just a situation where you can walk into. You have to audition.
Yeah.
You have to have skill.
Yep.
You have to be knowledgeable. That is in the sense of being able to read music.
Yep.
And you have to have talent.
Absolutely.
There is a standard.
Yeah.
It's not something that, I want to be part of the marching band. Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, these people take this very serious.
Absolutely.
And it's part of the curriculum.
Yep.
It's part of the musical curriculum. So we're not talking about something that's just a flyaway kind of program where just, come on, join the marching band. They put posters up, join the marching band.
Yeah, right.
Oh, no, there's the standard.
It's like, I'm sorry, we have to invite you. What?
That's right.
Did we invite you? Oh, no, you need to go.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
I mean, some of them are so high up there that they're like that. They literally are. Like, you have to be invited.
Yes, this
and
is
it's
true.
like, oh my God, they invited me.
But there's
You know, you're so
there's a
excited.
standard of excellence that comes
Yeah.
along with it, and rightfully so. You
Hmm.
know, because what we want to happen is people operating in what they're talented in, not in what they're
Curious about.
curious about or interested in, but
Hmm.
something that you actually can do.
Absolutely.
If a singer is going to be a singer, you know, then they're a singer.
Yep.
If someone is gifted with playing the drums or the flute or any instrument or singing, you know,
Hmm.
those are the people that you want, not the
Absolutely.
novices.
Yeah. And see, what I've encouraged people that who are interested in music is to find, because you can't get it in school anymore.
Hmm.
You have to find a place where like a after school program
Right.
or something where you
That's
can get
right.
hold of that type of program, so that if you want to play music, you can play music.
That's right. That's right.
You know, you have to look for it now. Unfortunately, it used to be handed to you, but now it's not. And I would encourage people who do have a curiosity to learn to find that.
That's
You
right.
know, wherever you can, because I played the instrument and I loved it.
Yes.
It's such a it's a freeing thing.
Hmm.
It's it takes away the monotony
It
of
does.
life too.
It does.
It's very the music is a beautiful thing and it does things. We were talking about this, you know, before with the vibrations and how the music can change your moods and all these
Absolutely.
different things, and it's so important to understand music because we listen to it all the time. And so
Hmm.
you can listen to what you there's a lot of music I won't listen to because the vibrations are bad.
That's right, exactly.
You
And it's a
know.
very real thing. Music is something that is very spiritual, and it is, you know, I hate to be so existential about it, but it is connected to the universe. There are
Yeah.
vibrations that actually connect with the brain,
Hmm.
and and the brain responds chemically to these vibrations.
Hmm.
And so, you know, there is a pleasure principle in the brain. There's a place for aggression and
Hmm.
things like that. And depending on the type of chord structure that happens in music, you
Hmm.
know, it can bring you up or bring you down. You
Yeah.
know, uh, uh,
Hmm.
the, like this, a lot of the hip hop music, you know, it's unfortunately it's really negative when you're talking about
Hmm.
hurt this one and be that and shoot this one and kill that one and
Hmm.
using the N word and whatnot. It perpetuates cycles of negativity,
Yes, it
you
is.
know, and even some of the chord structures and beats that they use
Hmm.
can probably be connected to war
Yeah.
beats, you know,
Hmm.
back to
Hmm.
African times
The
when
drums.
certain beats meant war, you know.
Hmm.
But when we don't know
Damn,
that,
I never thought
that's
about
right. Think
that.
about it. That's right.
That it is deep like that because they take the music when it's created, it's taken from everything.
That's
It's
right.
taken from everything, everywhere. So you don't really know what you're using
Exactly.
because that's true. Like especially in tribal,
That's right.
like
That's
they
right.
use certain beats for different things.
That's
When
right.
you heard a certain beat, you were like, "What?
That's
What's
right.
that? Oh, okay, it's time to eat.
Right.
Okay, what? Oh, it's time to fight. You
That's
know,
right.
it's time to
Exactly.
sleep. You know.
Exactly.
Oh wow, that's
And so
incredible. I
you
didn't think
think,
about
and so
that.
you know, we don't think about it because, unfortunately, it's about making money. It's
Yeah.
about being known. It's about having the most records sold. It's about being the most popular, you know. And for our people, it's a lot deeper than that,
Yeah.
you know. And we really need to explore more in terms of how music actually affects us as a
Hmm.
community,
Yeah.
you know. And
Hmm.
in this more global community, you know, how it does us in
Hmm.
terms of responding to the rest of the world.
That is so true. That is so true. So tell me about your adult years when you start performing professionally. Like, what did that look like? Who did you tell me about who you performed with? What you did?
Well, what's interesting is when I was with that band when I was a boy, you know, we had some managers that put us in really good places. For
Okay.
example, I think one time we opened up for an oldies show. I think I might have been 10 or 11 years old. And it was,
Okay.
I believe it was at this place called the Scottish Rite Cathedral, somewhere here in Philadelphia. And the
Okay.
Platters were on this show.
Oh wow.
I think the OJs were on the show. David Ruffin was on this show. And
Wow.
we opened up for that show, you
Wow.
know. And there was another time, I don't know if you remember, it was a place called the Hotel Philadelphia.
I think I've heard of it. Yeah.
On Broad Street,
Mm-hmm.
and the Parliament Funkadelic had a concert there, and we were the opening people on this side of the room for that concert, and so and you know, and when I became older, as an adult after high school, I was a wedding singer for
Okay.
about maybe a
So
good
okay, so this man can also sing. So
just a
okay.
little bit, just a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit.
just a little bit, little too
and
bit.
and my friend and I, Lee Evans and I, we were a duo probably from 1981, probably up until about 19 almost 89.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
long time.
Yeah, we were together for a good while, and he went to school and then went on a cruise ship and did a thing. And so after that, he started making me tracks, and that's when I became more of a soloist.
Okay.
And so I played with a band right after high school. It just didn't work out, you know, because the
Yeah.
guys just weren't in the same place as I was.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I went to community college and studied there just a little bit,
Okay.
but mostly between the years of 1986 in '87, I became a soloist,
Okay.
and I started to really go out and perform as a soloist, and I
Okay.
started getting a lot of different type of events other than weddings, of
Okay.
which you know I still do today,
Okay. Okay.
and so the musical community here in Philadelphia really doesn't know me, to tell you the truth,
Yeah.
you know, and sometimes. You know, I say to people, I'm a sheltered musician. You know,
Right.
and not that
So
people
you're
don't know me.
popular more word of mouth than versus
Yes.
social media websites and things like that.
Right, exactly. Of which we're actually changing. That's why we're here with Sophie. Yes.
Yeah.
And so now we've done this record with the single with Phase 5, you know.
Okay. Yeah. I was just gonna get started transitioning to Phase 5. So tell us about how you got involved with Phase 5.
Well,
Phase 5 Records.
Doug Payne is the husband of a woman that I met through her family. And Doug's wife, June, is
June.
also a singer.
June.
An
Yeah.
unbelievable singer.
She's on the third with 3 degrees.
Yes, and so she is. I think she's the cousin. She's a cousin. I think she's a cousin of Jeannie Baylor, who's what is it? No, Jean Baylor. And what is I'm sorry, I'm getting the last name mixed up.
Okay.
Her husband is used to be the drummer for the Yellow Jackets,
Okay.
and they have a project out now called the Baylor Project. But anyway,
Okay.
I got connected to Doug through his wife June.
Okay.
And so we did some gigs together some years ago, and we wound up over the last 2 years. He says, "I want you to do this song,"
Okay.
you know, and he introduced me to the song, and that's how I got connected to it.
So the song is called Midnight Star, by oh my goodness, why you rubbing off on
Doug
me?
Payne.
Yeah, and it's sung by oh my gosh,
Carmen
Bryant.
Bryant.
Oh my God, I was a total brain fart. I'm so sorry for Carmen Bryant. I can see her face. I'm like, come to me, please. I'm breaking in front of the camera. So Carmen Bryant has a song out called Midnight Star, and so Kenny did the saxophone. So Kenny is a saxophone player.
Yes.
So
And once you see this, write Sophie and say, "I know what that run was from what show."
yeah, we do trivia here too. So so he did the instrumental version of Midnight Star.
Mhm.
So which is tell everybody where it is so they can hear.
You can go on iTunes and get it. You can go on cdbaby.com and Amazon and all the other electronic venues to get the song. It's under my name, Kenny Sikes. That's KennySykes. And Carmen Bryant and June Payne are the background vocals on it. We hope that you enjoy it. It's a nice, smooth R&B song,
Beautiful
you
song.
know, of which we love. And so we hope that you enjoy it too. I've been told that it has relaxed people, especially on their rides on the train into work and after a stressful day at work. So it can relax you too. Midnight Star, Kenny Sikes.
All right, y'all. So is there anything else that you're working on?
Well, we consistently are playing out live.
Okay.
We're going to be at the Caribbean Festival on August the 18th. It's a free event. You all may know about it here in Philadelphia at Penn's Landing. The Ivory Keys Band is the name of the band that I play with. And so we'll be there between the hours of 12 and 7. We'll probably go on early, but August the 18th, at Penn's Landing.
Okay.
And so, what I've been talking to Doug about recently, and very seriously, is about doing a full CD,
Okay.
a smooth jazz CD.
Beautiful.
Yes, yes, yes. And
what was it? What was it? One of the songs going to be called?
which one?
The one. Remember when we talked about the last time? I can't remember what you said.
Oh, you mean Larry's Dubois?
Larry's Dubois. I can't wait to hear the song go.
Now, Larry's Dubois is my wife. Now, her name is Nishay, but when we met some years ago, and she told me her name was Nishay, I said, Nishay, I said, it's a beautiful name, it's French. Mm-hmm. And I sat there for a few minutes, and then I said, Larry's Dubois. She says, what? I says, yes, Larry's Dubois. I says, Nishay Larry's Dubois.
So,
and so I know that is powerful,
like,
and trust me,
who is this woman?
Who is this woman? And so the song has to be a very powerful song,
yeah, and
it's going to be a love song, and you all will fall in love with it because I am the love master.
Yes, he is. Child, you gotta hear this stuff, okay? That is so dope. I think that's awesome. And once it's done, and if you do come out with the CD, you gotta come back. So
absolutely.
So that we can definitely give people a taste, so they can go out, and look for it and get it.
Oh, absolutely. We're just in the beginning stages of talking about it and whatnot. But Doug is like, yes, I like that idea, and we're definitely going to move forward on it. My children sing. My youngest daughter and my youngest son, they also sing.
Oh,
and so I'm really looking forward to collaborating with them. They can sing.
Damn, that's so dope.
Yeah. And so Kenneth and Tatiana Sikes.
Okay.
And Tatiana just graduated from Spelman University.
Ooh,
yeah. And she got the job.
She got a job, y'all.
So I'm really looking forward to collaborating with them. Because they're really good young people, and they're really talented.
Yeah. We need to also start seeing our young people in a more positive light. Right now, it's just going downward spiraling, and our young people are getting bad raps, and it's not necessary because there's a lot of young people that are doing great.
A whole lot of young people that are doing great.
Yeah.
And every time I go into a store or a restaurant and I see a young African American person working at the counter or serving or sweeping or whatever, I say to them, I'm proud of you. And I'm saying to you, I'm proud of you if young person you are watching.
Absolutely.
And I tell them, they say, well, what do you mean? I says, because you're here working. You could be doing anything else, something that is not productive, And sometimes I even slide them a couple of dollars here and there.
What's their reaction?
They're overwhelmed and stunned because I think that there is a greater generational gap.
It is.
Even to a disconnect point. There's always been a generational gap just simply because of times changing and what young people go through in terms of development and where older people are of actually being developed already. So, you're going to see things differently, However, today there seems to be a disconnect, not just a generational gap. And what I've noticed working in the field is that young people, it's not so much that they don't have respect for older people as much as they don't understand.
They don't.
And
we see it and we get pissed off, but we really have to understand that a lot of these kids have no foundation.
That's
and
right.
They don't understand family dynamics.
Exactly.
Like, mother, father, sister, brother, they're they in a household where their mom and their sister pregnant at the same time. Their father's not around. There's other fathers for other children.
That's right.
It's just broken. All the families are broken.
Exactly. There's no consistency.
No.
In the family structure anymore.
Absolutely.
And that creates confusion in young people because young people aren't able to process that stuff, because their brain is not developed. That's science. That's biology.
Yeah.
We're not talking anything, that's not proven.
Absolutely.
That's simple science and biology.
I mean, you got and so people can fully understand what we're talking about. We're talking about age. Your brain develops at more at certain ages.
That's right.
A 7-year-old is not going to be at the same level as a 16-year-old.
Right.
And then it's a male-female thing. Females are way more ahead of males. So
that's right.
There's a lot of different dynamics in that, which is real sciencey and all that kind of stuff. But it's all, you can Google it.
Right.
So it's not like
and we hope that you Google it.
Yeah, please.
Because information is knowledge.
Absolutely.
And knowledge is what? Power.
Knowledge is power.
Remember
that Schoolhouse Rock?
That's right.
Man, she don't even have Schoolhouse Rock. Like,
right. But that's where we came from.
Exactly.
And that was part of our foundation. That was part of our building blocks, and that was part of our development. And still to this day, we can remember those things and use them.
We can.
And so one of the biggest things for me to do with young people is live in front of them.
Yeah.
Because it's the 90-10 rule.
Mm-hmm.
They hear what you're saying, but what's more important is them seeing what you do.
Doing, exactly.
That's right.
Because we learn by sight, not by voice.
That's right.
You learn by doing.
That's right.
And repetition is key. And that's what people need to understand. If you're repetitive and you're doing things over and over again, it teaches you and it stays with you forever. The reason why we know about Schoolhouse Rock and all that, because it came on all the time. Every Saturday we watched Saturday morning cartoons, and that was one of the things that would come in between the commercials when we were watching it, and it was always the same thing. And we know it now, even as old as we are, because it was an integral part of our life, and it was repetitious. It was something that we look forward to.
And it taught us.
It did.
There were teaching moments consistently.
Absolutely.
Consistently. Channel 12 during the week.
Oh my God,
the whole Mr. Rogers thing, and whatnot.
And let me tell you a funny thing about Mr. Rogers. I didn't like him. I always thought he was a little perv or something with the little jacket and like a little creeper, But he was really a dope dude.
He was.
I didn't know that. I found out after he died. I feel so bad about that.
Educator, the whole 9 yards.
He was about it. And he was no joke.
Right. He was what they call today the truth.
Yes, he was.
And what he did was, on a psychological level, he helped us to learn how to be calm.
Yep.
He helped us learn how to trust.
Yep.
He helped us to learn what to look for in the creepy dude.
Yeah, he did. He
really did.
I thought he was a creepy dude. But he wasn't.
Because he was so sensitive and he was so calm and he was so smiley all the time, which were really positive characteristics, and very strong characteristics of a solid man, no matter what color he is, you know what I mean? And he gave to us things that are lasting to this day.
Absolutely.
To this day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to end, but I know you have to go. I really, really appreciate you coming here. It's such a pleasure to really talk to you. You're such an inspirational person, and I just...
Thank you, Sophie.
I know that you're going to be doing big things, and, you're going to be doing more than that.
I am, and I'm not saying that with arrogance. I'm saying that with assurance, because one of the things that I try and tell people when I talk to them or even when I counsel them is one of the things you have to do is you have to find out what your gifts are.
Yes.
Okay. And once you find out exactly what your gifts are, then you have direction.
Absolutely.
And then you begin to learn what your purpose is.
That's right.
Then you begin to learn how to move in your purpose.
That's right.
I can't remember his name, the guy who wrote the Purpose-Driven Life. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. Great writer too.
Okay.
But that's really important.
And what people don't realize, I was at a point in my life where I didn't feel like I had purpose.
Right.
And, it makes you lost. And I felt very lost. I felt very like, why am I here? What's the point? What's going on? But until you find your purpose, you don't live until you find your purpose.
That's right.
And your purpose will drive you. It'll take you everywhere you need to go. Let me tell you, you'll get up every day. You'll do everything you got to do because now you have your purpose.
That's right.
So you have to find your purpose in order to become who you're supposed to be.
That's right. And I'm 56 years old last month. And
all right now, happy belated.
Thank you so much. And it's truly not over. No. You know, my last daughter, my youngest child, just graduated from college. You know, when I married my wife, I had about a year or two come out of addiction.
Oh.
Yes. A year or two out of addiction. She had 3 children when we got married.
Oh.
And we had 2 children fairly right away.
Okay.
And so things musically had begun to happen, you know, a lot greater. And I was purchasing equipment, this and that and the third. And I wanted to do some things, but I couldn't. Okay. Not because she said I couldn't, but because the responsibility was to raise this family. And to be the husband that this woman married. This woman didn't get married to be a single married woman. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And so I'm saying all that to say this, that now that my last child, who's 22 years old, is graduated and she's moving into her own life, it's on.
Life has begun. The Kenny Sikes story.
That's right. Part 2.
Part 2. Deuces.
So, you know, I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for you. And I think you are totally on the road to wherever it is you're going to be. And life is only over when you're not here. When there's no breath. When there's no life. And
as you can see, we breathe.
Yeah, you see that chest moving up and down? That means you're still here.
Thanks, Sophie.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for being
here. Absolutely. It's my pleasure.
Okay. And we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Deuces.